Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here. Thank you for checking out this video. And this is going to be the week 1 vault, but officially welcome to my week 2 video. So I'm actually on a break from raid. We already cleared normal in like an hour and a half. So we are going to be moving over to heroic. But I wanted to see if we got a Neltharian's trinket to drop. We did. So Neltharian's Call to Dominance did drop, which is a hero track even on normal. But I lost out on the roll to a 100 by our enhancement shaman. So congratulations going on your awesome trinket. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I have in store. I guess it never really actually shows me. I have 3 Mythic Plus slots that are going to be 515. I don't have any Mythic track gear. And I have 2 Heroic pieces and 1 for normal. So alright, so let's make sure our specialization is set to Marksman. It's going to be the very first vault of the season. I'm excited. Alright, let's get to it. So I'm going to do the meme thing here of block it. So you guys can see it already, but I can't. So alright, so let's start off with the raid. So our first raid option is a chess piece off of Council for normal. The heroic pieces, one's going to be a heroic pair of pants. That's always good. And the next one is heroic wrists. So not too crazy. A heroic raid, I should say. Alright, here we go. First one is, okay, Erupting Spear Fragment. Not very good for a Marksman Hunter, unfortunately. Alright, come on, please be good to us, Mythic Plus. Second one is going to be a Platinum Starband, a very good ring. We will eventually replace it with 2 really good rings from the vendor. And the final is Torrential Downpour Gauntlets, which is actually the only piece of new tier I have. This is not a good vault for me. So I'll probably most likely be picking up either the ring at 515 or we'll be picking up the pants. Unfortunately, it does not matter what I pick because if I'm going to be switching the pants out, I don't have a 4 set at that point, so I won't be able to use that anyway. But this is great information to have. I won't be picking the gloves unless I just get uber lucky and get a bunch of things I can catalyst. But I can use the catalyst twice so far this week. I already have 1 piece of tier, so if I can get my hands on a helm, get my hands on a chest or shoulders, I will have the new 4 set, and that'll be a big increase to my damage. Even though it's the same set bonus, it's just more secondaries. But I'm either going to pick the Platinum Star Band or the Stormwing Harriers Greaves. So let's go ahead and see what I ended up picking here in just a second and see what I did with it for this week. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in a second. And just like that, we are at the end of week 2, and it's been a very, very productive week for me on my Marksman Hunter. So first off, let's look at the gear really fast. My guild did go 9 of 9 normal and 9 of 9 heroic. We did it on the first raid night, and as I had mentioned in my previous video, I was going to have the plumber come the next day, so I didn't get to stream that. So I do apologize. I also didn't think we were going to clear it completely, but my guild did an amazing job. I'm so proud of them. And we got some really great drops. So I did manage to make my crafted item. As I said in my previous video, if I ended up getting a ring out of my vault, I would make a neck piece with the blue silk lining, which I did. That got that up to 525. That was a huge upgrade. I ended up getting a back piece that just has some stats on it. There's no bad stats for you and your Marksman Hunter in Season 4. I did get some wrist from Raid. It's got a little bit of speed on it, which is nice. And then, let's see, I did get the ring, so I did pick that. I hadn't picked it in the first part of this video, but I went with the Platinum Star Band, some good amount of secondaries there in the form of crit strike and a little bit of mastery. And then I did spend my bullion on Nelthrax, Enemy of the Sky, and I did pump that all the way up to 535, so it's the BIS of BIS weapons there. And then I got super lucky. Not only did we see 1 Neltharian's Call to Dominance, we saw 2. We saw 1 in normal, Going won that one. We saw 1 in heroic, and I won that one. So it is a Mythic track item. It goes all the way up to 525. Doesn't go all the way up to 535 like the Awakened bullion version. So I will eventually buy a bigger version of this trinket. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and skip the number 2 purchase for bullion here in a couple weeks. And then I'm going to go right to number 3, which normally would be Grief Torch for a single target like raid encounter. But we are like absolutely blowing through the raids, I'm probably gonna skip Grief Torch and go right to one of the rings. So most likely, going to go pick up one of those, the Eggnog Ring. And so because of that, I'm going to probably not pump up my Signet of Titanic Insight. It does kind of matter what I'm going to get out of my vault, so I'm not going to make anything or make any big early decisions until I have all of the information in front of me. But I'm going to keep my blue silk lining on this ring until I have a replacement, which if it's that ring or not, who knows. But what I'm planning on doing is eventually when I do move it, I'm probably going to be putting my embellishment back on my belt. I did get a belt that has a socket on already though, so that's always a good thing, but it is just a champion piece. So getting that pumped up to 525 and having my embellishment on there will be a very good choice, and that's most likely what I'll be doing unless I want to put it on the adaptive Dracathis Armguards for raid. So it just kind of depends on what I want to do. I'm sure that'll change depending on how I'm feeling or how lazy I'm being that day. Anyway, so like I said, I did go 9 of 9 normal, 9 of 9 heroic. So looking at the vault, we did manage to fill the vault. So I got all mythic 8s or higher as promised. They're all 8s. I got some great runs this week. We did a lot of them tonight. We did 4 of the 8 tonight, like within the last couple of hours. I did get all of my options for heroic. So on the heroic slots, it's not just from the raid that was awakened. It's any of them. So you never know what you're going to get there. You could get some just brokenly amazing items. Nelthrax could be there for me tomorrow. I hope not, since I don't really need it now. But anything could be there. So maybe we'll get an Eggnog Ring, or maybe we'll get the Diurna Ring. Who knows? And then hopefully we can get some really good items here. Regardless, I hope I come away with something that's a huge upgrade, because there's a ton of potential for that. Oh, and also, real quick, speaking of the 4 set and just upgrades, I am still running with the 4 set from Season 3 and only 1 piece from Season 4, because you don't want to break that 4 set. Even though the 4 set bonus is the same, the set is not. So make sure it's an all or nothing thing, so make sure you have at least 4 pieces. And this week, we had 2 charges over on the Catalyst. Well, now we'll have 3 starting this next week. So I'll be able to make the new set. I just need the base items to do that. So I want to see what I get out of my vault too. But I do have at least hero shoulders that I can turn into tier. I do have a helm, but it's only champion. And that wouldn't give me my 4 set anyway. So I'm kind of just waiting and seeing what I get from my vault. And then from early raid tomorrow, which I should be streaming live for you guys, and we'll be back in a Myrdra. And then last thing, let's see here. So for Mythic Plus, I did manage to get over 2K rating, which was Keystone Master. Congratulations to everybody in the guild who did go and get Keystone Master this week. And this week was the Fortified, Entangling, and Bolstering week. So we never actually saw Bolstering, since that was a higher level affix than the one what we were doing, but we did manage to make some really great progress rating wise. I still don't have anything done on Uldaman for Fortified or Neltharis Fortified, so there's a lot of points that are still left on the board. I'd say it'd probably be at least easy 2.2k right now until we start to push. My goal maybe Eva is to get 3k again, but we'll see what happens. It really just kind of depends on the guild groups. But I have to say, Marksman is so much fun to play right now. I am so enjoying it, seeing all the huge numbers, seeing some of the great numbers being shared over in my Discord as well. There is an invitation link down in the description of the video if you guys would like to check that out. But absolutely nutty parsing going on. And also, if you can get a PI, like Bo, for example, in my Discord, got over a 1 million burst on the first boss. I don't know if it was normal or heroic or mythic for Avarice this last week, but shout out to him, doing some absolutely amazing work. And it's just a lot of fun to play right now. I'm hoping that in the alpha and beta for War Within, we'll see some defensive changes, some defensive upgrades. And if we can get into that that position where we're not so squishy, I think we're going to stand a chance to have a lot more people coming back to the spec for War Within, and that's something that I'm really, really excited about. And I'm going to do my best to share all the information that I come across on the alpha, if I get in, or on the beta for sure, since I apparently paid for like 3 days. I don't know. I forgot about that. But anyway, this next week, my goal is to get my 4 set that will be for a Season 4 set. I'm going to potentially spend my next spark. It'll probably be either on a belt or it'll be on the wrists. Not sure which one I'm going to pick yet. I'll figure that out based on what I'm going to be doing with said items. And then I'm just going to try to get something that's going to be a big upgrade in my vault, and then try to get one of the 2 trinkets that I need. My goal is the Iridius fragment from Halls of Infusion. I didn't get it this week. I ran it a few times. I saw it drop, but it didn't drop in my bags, and the people who got it couldn't trade it. So it is what it is. Next week for sure. But that's going to be the target dungeon for me. Also, to get a chest piece I can turn into tier, or pants to turn into tier. Whatever dungeons that drop tier slot items is something that I'm going to be shooting for. And plus, the gloves that I have are not hero track either. So I would prefer myth track though, but we'll have to see what I get in my vault. But how are you guys doing this week? I hope you guys were well. I hope you got all the gear, and I hope you guys have a fun raid week, Mythic Plus week, whatever it be for week 3. I'll have another one of these videos out at the very end of next week. But thank you guys for watching, and from Zelda, who's off screen, Rosie, who's right here, and myself, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.